Okay, guys, before we can even start to mix, we have to get everything ready for the mixing session. So the first thing we want to deal with is something called headroom, and we are leaving room on the track, volume-wise, so that we can have more to work with later. This should be at 0, sorry. So when I play my track, here's the master volume knob. Here's the master volume, okay? If I tab over, I can see what the master volume is at. And your guys' might be squished like this. If you can't see it, pull it up so you can see the numbers. So let's see where the volume is hitting. Okay, this is no bueno. Why? We don't have any headroom. In fact, this is spiking, and it's getting to 1.17. The ideal place we want is for it to hit around -6, so we have 6 dB headroom, okay? So what we need to do is turn all the tracks down equally so that we can keep them still at their same relative volumes, but we can give ourselves some headroom. So here's the first question. Do you have volume automation? If not, then it's super easy, okay? I'm going to press shift here and select all of the tracks. So I shift-clicked all the tracks, then I can just drag all the volumes down equally, and you guys can see they're all moving, okay? And I'm going to see where my volume's hitting now. Okay, I'm pretty happy. If it ends up -4, -6 is the best. If it ends up -4-ish range, I'm totally happy, okay? I would leave it at that point. Those of you who have a lot of volume automation, the reason you can't drag all of these tracks down equally is it's going to kill your volume automation. So you have to do something else. If the idea is to bring all the tracks down equally in volume without touching the volume knobs, you're going to use something called the utility plugin. You're going to go to Audio Effects. You're going to go grab Utility. Okay, I'll drop it on just one of the tracks. And I'm going to turn the gain down. Let's say I turn the gain down 5 dB, and that's going to have to guess, unfortunately. If I want this same volume adjustment on every track, what I need to do is grab this utility, Command-C, and I have to copy it onto every single track. Is this tedious? Yes, it is, but it really only takes a minute or so, okay? And then after you've grabbed the utility on every track, then again, you're going to check it. Okay? For instance, in my case, I wouldn't be done. I'd have to go back and adjust all the utilities. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but that's the only way to make sure we have headroom, okay? So that's the first thing you're going to do is make sure you have headroom, okay? Second thing I want you guys to do is take off any panning. We can always put that back in. But if you have panning or panning automation, I would take that off for now. I would make sure every track is just set to the center. We can deal with panning later, okay? Next, we're going to do one more thing with the kick and the snare. So I'm going to go find my MIDI kick and snare, my drum rack, okay? Now, the problem is if I export this track as audio, the kick and the snare are together. And I don't want that. I want to be able to have more control. Okay, I want the kick to be on one track and the snare to be on the other. This is really, really easily solved, okay? I take my MIDI drum track, I click here and press Command-D, and now I've made a duplicate. I label one snare, I label the other kick, okay? On the one that I labeled snare, I'm going to solo the snare. On the one that I labeled kick, I'm going to solo the kick, okay? So now my snare and my kick are divided into 2 different tracks, so when they export as audio, I will be able to mix them individually. When you have all that ready to go, you're finally able to export. You're going to go to Export Audio Video, and the rendered track, oh look, my rendered start and my rendered length are not correct, so I would have to go back here, make sure I select the whole thing, Command Let's get the looper. I'll get the looper from beginning to end. Now I would try again, export audio video. I am exporting all individual tracks. You see that? I would leave everything else as it is. I like using a wave. Then I'm going to press export, and all those tracks are either going to get sent to your desktop or to your flash drive. And now we are finally ready to mix.